Hello, my name is Katherine Messer. I'm a third-year biomedical engineering major, and this research project was conducted with the BioEnergy and Sustainable Technology Laboratory. So composting is a method of recycling organic materials and carbon-based waste, turning it into a nutrient-rich amendment that can be used as a fertilizer or gardening soil. It also diverts waste away from landfills, which are the third largest producers of methane gas in the United States. Unfortunately, the majority of Americans do not compost, and many of them seem unaware of the benefits of composting or its role in the effort to address climate change globally. So I conducted a survey of local students to investigate the potential relationship between involvement in composting and being optimistic about global efforts to address climate change. So I asked the students demographic questions, I established their level of involvement in sustainable practices and composting, and then I gauged their perception of climate change efforts. Many of the questions were set on a scale of 1 to 10. I reduced these to net promoter scores for the sake of grouping, and then looked at the trends for those who composted versus those who did not. Over the course of a week, I received 104 completed surveys. Once the data was collected, I looked at trends and used contingency tables to calculate probabilities given the participants' involvement in composting. So overall involvement in composting was low, and opinion on efforts taken to address climate change were strikingly negative. I found that the average rating for how optimistic the participant was about global climate change action among composters was a 4, which was lower than the average rating among non-composters, a 5. But the standard deviation across the composting participants was higher. This means that the higher percentage of either extremely optimistic or extremely pessimistic participants was found in the composter data set, while non-composters' ratings were more passive. There was not enough evidence to really make a case for correlation between composting involvement and the climate change optimism, but of the sample, it can be said that composters are generally more knowledgeable about climate change efforts and have a strong opinion, whether it be negative or positive. A larger sample size and qualitative data from interviews would be necessary to better assess any relationships.